Okay, so if you're a small business owner, especially someone running something like retreats, you know the grind of organic marketing. It can feel like you're just constantly on a hamster wheel, heading straight for burnout. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if we could reframe it and turn it into the most reliable way to get bookings? Let's dive in.
So let me just ask you, straight up, does it feel like your organic marketing is just failing? Like you're putting in all this time and energy, you're showing up, but the results just aren't there? It's an incredibly frustrating place to be, and trust me, you're not alone.
And when we feel that frustration, what's the first piece of advice we always hear? You're just not posting enough. The default answer always seems to be, do more, post more, create more content, just turn up the volume. But what if that's actually the worst advice you could possibly get?
That leads us right into our first section. We are going to bust the great organic marketing myth. We're going to take a hard look at why simply doing more is often the fastest path to getting, well, less.
Yeah, I bet this looks pretty familiar, right? This is that frantic checklist of activities that people think of as organic marketing. It's this tool-focused grind where we get so obsessed with the how, the posting, the emailing, that we completely lose sight of the why. The goal just becomes being active everywhere, all the time, and that's a one-way ticket to Burnout City. So here's the absolute truth. This strategy doesn't fail because you're not trying hard enough. No way. It fails because when you're just creating a ton of noise, your core message, the actual reasons someone should care about what you do, gets completely lost. The real problem isn't frequency, it's clarity. Period. Which brings us to the actual truth of what good organic marketing is all about. It's not about traffic, it's about compounding trust. And honestly, this is the single biggest mindset shift we need to make today.
This right here, this is the whole game. I really want you to let this sink in. We have to stop thinking of organic marketing as a way to get free traffic. Instead, we need to start seeing it as a patient system for building and compounding trust over time.
And why is trust so dang important? Well, because for a big, high-commitment purchase like a retreat, people don't make snap decisions based on a feature list. They watch you, they reflect on what you're saying, they try to imagine themselves there. It's a slow, emotional process, and your marketing needs to support that journey, not rush it. And this is the entire concept in a nutshell. It's so simple and so powerful. When someone sees your clear, consistent message again and again, you become familiar. That familiarity creates a feeling of emotional safety, and that feeling of safety is what ultimately lets them say yes and book their spot. Okay, so if it's all about building trust, how in the world do we actually do it? Let's get practical here and break down the mechanics of creating that familiarity and safety across all your different channels. First things first, the goal is not to be everywhere all the time. Forget that. The real goal is to build a coherent digital identity, an ecosystem where every single piece of content, every post, every email, all reinforces the same core message and works together to build that trust. Just look at this breakdown. Each channel has its own specific job. Social media isn't really for selling, it's for creating familiarity. It's the first handshake. Facebook groups, that's where you build the deeper trust. Email is for nurturing the connection. And then SEO and AI, that's how you capture people who are already out there looking for you. They all work together to create this seamless, trustworthy experience. Let's go just a little deeper. Your social media is for articulating who you are. The right people will feel seen, and just as important, the wrong people will move on. In Facebook groups, people get to see you think in public, which is huge for creating emotional safety. It's like letting them behind the curtain. Email respects their slow decision-making, gently nurturing them without any pressure. And finally, SEO and now AI, they reward all this clarity by connecting you with the exact people who are already searching for what you offer. Now I know what you're thinking. What about paid ads? Where do they fit in? Let's talk about how organic and paid marketing aren't enemies. They're actually partners.
You know, this whole organic versus paid debate is just the wrong way to look at it. They aren't in a fight. The real question you should be asking yourself is about timing and purpose. What stage is my business in, and what do I need right now?
This slide lays it out perfectly. Organic is your foundation. It's the slow, steady work that builds long-term stability and real trust. Paid is the accelerator. It takes that strong foundation you've built and just amplifies it, creating quick momentum. Think of it like a garden. Organic is patiently tending the soil, and paid is the fertilizer that makes everything grow way faster. And please remember this. It's so critical. Paid ads are a mirror. They only magnify what's already there. If your core message is a mess and your organic foundation is weak, all that paid traffic you buy is just going to leak away. You absolutely have to fix the foundation first. So, what does success actually look like in this model? When it all comes together, what's the payoff? Let's talk about the final stage, the inevitable booking. When this is really working, it's not some dramatic overnight explosion of sales. It's quiet. It's a steady, gentle momentum that builds in the background until it just feels normal, natural. The customer's journey is just a series of small, quiet moments. They might read a blog post you wrote, then they watch a short video, then they see a story from someone just like them, and over time, your work starts to feel familiar and safe. At that point, a booking doesn't feel like a pushy sale. It just feels like the next logical, inevitable step for them to take. And let's be totally honest with each other, this patient approach, yeah, it's probably going to take longer than you want it to. But I promise you, it is so much faster than having to constantly start over and rebuild trust because your frantic, noisy marketing just ended up confusing everybody. And this is the moment. This is what you're working for. That email or that message you get one day from someone who says they've been quietly following you for months and now they're ready. That isn't a stroke of luck. That is organic marketing doing its job perfectly. It's the inevitable result of building trust, one small, quiet, and consistent step at a time.